Good afternoon. I am on, right? You know, sometimes you read on the news feed where someone that has a hot mic and they don't know it. We don't want to do that today. Good evening, good afternoon. I am so honored to be here today. I'm just blown away. I am. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for including me. Sally's kept me on point during this process with the emails. And Donna, have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this? I appreciate so much what you are doing. And I really want you to take a moment for everyone to stand and say, thank you, because you're farmers, you support community. I want you to stand, all of you that can, and give yourself a hand. We appreciate you. Yes. We appreciate you and all you do. And you cannot appreciate farming until you've gotten in the dirt, planted a seed, watched it grow, cultivated, harvested it, and done all of that process. Because we know when we plant today, the seed doesn't come up tomorrow. We have to wait a while. So I'm Donna Pearson McClish, CEO of Common Ground Producers and Growers. We are a Common Ground mobile market and mobile food hub. And I do have a presentation, but I'm just going to talk to you, okay? We have core values that are equity, community, legacy, quality, and sustainability. And hopefully, as I talk with you, you can see those core values in what we do. This is seed time and harvest using common ground to preserve our future. And your conference is on common ground. How about that? So this is a picture on my left of my brother planting a milpa garden. How many of you know about milpa? It's chaos gardening where you throw the seeds out. Well, he was planting by, those are my two brothers that I farm with. I am a farmer. I'm a farmer. Those are my two brothers that I farm with. We planted the milpa garden, and he got the drill to drill the seeds in, and we watered and we planted, and nothing came up but weeds. So we had a conservationist come out and to assess how the milpa garden had done, and she says, oh, it didn't do very good this year, but you do have pigweed, and the goats can eat it. Okay. So if we look at seed time, and then on the other picture is a picture of two college students that were supported by Kansas Wesleyan University that interned at the farm last summer, and they have corn in their hand. The gentleman in the middle is my brother David. He does all the farming. He's the farm manager. But he showed them, we planted corn. He showed them how to plant, cultivate, and harvest the corn. And so Josie, the young lady, said, I have never used a syringe. So my brother taught them, when you put the oil on the corn, on some of the silk or some part of it, it cuts down on the bugs and all of that. So the corn they harvested, they took home to their families. So, and their summer was just outstanding. And before I go any further, I need to introduce my staff. Keisha McClish Couts is my mental health therapist and mental health person that works with Common Ground. Randy Couts is my program advisor, heavy lifter, right hand, all of that. He's the glue that holds us together. So we are a family organization. 2018, we celebrated the 50th anniversary of the farm. And so we've been there 54 years. We are an urban agriculture farm in Wichita, Kansas, the largest urban farm in the area, right off of K96. So if you in Wichita on K96 and Hillside, north of Wichita State University, you're almost at the farm. Call us and we'll just do something, roast hot dogs or something. So it's in honor of our mother and father, and that's the house, and it's 110 years old, and I have the opportunity to bring it up to code. Yeah. So, and that's my brother and I, we were doing a presentation with the Hutchinson newspaper. So he was on the tractor, and that's one of my dad's tractors. So he was on the tractor. So the mobile market, let me tell you a little bit about the mobile market. It began in 2014 with 7 locations. My brothers asked me, what can we do with all of this produce we have left over? And I said, let's just do a farmer's market. Now, I don't know where that idea came from. I really don't. I've been trying to figure that out. So we did the farmer's market, had set it up outside on the farm. We have 40 acres. Set it outside on the farm. We had corn. We had purple hull peas. We had all kinds of vegetables. The market at the farm. That was my idea. We do 1 or 2 Saturdays a month, 8 to 12. That was it. That was my idea. So I had a colleague of mine that had worked with in Head Start. And she said, Donna, we get senior market vouchers. How many of you get senior market vouchers? Those are vouchers that USDA gives the seniors to spend at farmers markets. The problem is that if you don't have a farmer's market in the area, the seniors don't have transportation, then the vouchers aren't spent. So she said, could you come and bring us bring some produce to our center? And they have the senior market vouchers. So we signed up for the senior market vouchers, took the produce to the center, and come to find out that the area on aging had been trying to solve this problem for 2 years. So the area on aging lady said, she met me out at the farm under the tree. We talked. She said, can you do some more centers? I said, sure. You know, I need to learn to say, let me think about it, or no. So I said, sure. So we started with 7. We changed from the market, from our family mobile market to Common Ground in 2016, and we moved food. We're a mobile market, mobile food hub. So with the meeting with the person at the area on aging, we now serve 35 sites, senior sites, and that doesn't include the rest of the community. We take the food on the inside, on the outside, and I'll show you some pictures. So since 2019, we serve multiple locations in several counties. We serve Sedgwick, Harvey, Butler, and Saline counties. Saline we picked up in 2022. We got the LFPP grant in 2022 to expand those counties into 12 counties down I-35 corridor, because we're experiencing food insecurity, food deserts, not only in urban areas, but in rural areas also. How many of you are aware of what a food desert is? Oh, great. So you know there's no grocery stores. There's no accessibility to good quality food. So during COVID, we helped our community partners move more than 1 million pounds of food in Wichita. So normally farmers we have a time to kind of sit back and relax, maybe December, January, During COVID, we went nonstop. So we were providing food during COVID year round. 2021, our network of growers helped to provide more than 12,000 pounds of fresh produce. We work with a network of growers. We don't do all growing ourselves. We work with a network of growers that is always expanding. We come together, we aggregate the food, they can drop it off at the cooler on our farm, we pick it up and we move it to where it goes. food has to be accessible. It has to be affordable. So we'll get to that. Approximately 8,000 pounds of produce donated to organizations. At the end of the week, whatever is left, we gather it and give it away. We practice zero waste. Somebody or something eats that food. We have goats and sheep, chickens, ducks, so we practice zero waste so we can say, okay, this is how we're moving this food, but also this is how we're saving the planet, the climate, everything, because we practice zero waste. So we have intergenerational farming. At the top in the field is my brother and 2 grandchildren and probably some community people. On the far side with my far left, far left is my granddaughter with her mother, and we had harvested peas and green tomatoes. In this picture at the bottom, she's 10 years old. So my granddaughters, which is the 4th generation, work at the market during the summer. They're 10, 8, and 5. So that's 2 of them right there. That's also our Governor Kelly. She visited the farm, and those are my 2 brothers with me. And the gentleman hauling the corn is my grandson. He and I started the mobile market in a 1999 2-door white Pontiac. Then we upgraded to a 2000 Honda Odyssey. Then we upgraded to a 1999 Dodge. And now we have vehicles that are relatively new. But he started the mobile market with me, and that's when we had the idea of having the farmers market on the farm. So we do intergenerational. It's so important for us to help grow our young people into farmers. Randy has we do several schools and several sessions with different people, and he asked them, name your farmer. And he asked them first, name your football player, name your basketball player, LeBron James, but he says, name your farmer, and they look at you, the children look at you like, I don't know a farmer. But when we say, if you plant something and it grows at your school, you're becoming a farmer. So those are the types of things we have to look at our intergenerational. A person told me when we started that, Donna, you're able to connect the dots. And as we move and transition into what we do, we see that we are expanding community with our growers and producers. We are paying farmers equitable wages. That is so important right now. I'll get back to that. We're mobilizing fresh, healthy food, accessibility for all citizens. And if we have healthy farmers, we're going to have healthy families and healthy communities. That's what we believe. So our goal is health equity for all communities, which include access to healthy food. This is how we do it. So Randy loads up the white van. I load up the black van. We set our tables, our scales, vegetables, and we go to our senior sites. We're either outside or inside. When we get there, if we're late, if we are late, they say, you're late. We understand. However, at our last stop, we had someone that came late and said, I know it's late, but I've got to spend my vouchers. And we said, okay, we'll wait on you. Well, I have to go back up to my apartment to get them. Okay, we'll wait on you. So that's why we're late. That's why we're late. But we love them dearly. This one is in Hayesville. The first one. The second one is at Southern Hills. And that's the way they line up outside when they know we're coming. We give them a calendar every month. They know we're coming. And then the third one is inside Woodlake. And there is a relationship built in community because we strive to make the vegetables that we serve them culturally relative to their residences. We do high rises. We do individuals. We go everywhere. We're just all over. So this is how we provide services to our seniors, our elderly, and those. So getting back to the senior vouchers, the main reason the senior vouchers had not been moved was because there was no transportation to a farmer's market. So we solved that issue. We are the farmer's market, mobile on wheels that come to the senior centers. And in 2019, we were awarded, we got an award with CPAAA, the Area Agency on Aging. We increased the use of senior market vouchers 218%. So moving food to where it needs to go is critical, and it works. So mobile markets are here to stay. How many of you are involved with the mobile market? Great. This is your starting point, because all your food can become mobile. Even if you do it in your community, it can become mobile. And if we want to feed our communities, we have to have access to healthy foods. And guess what, guys? We're going to have to do that. We're going to have to provide access to healthy foods. Mobile markets are here to stay. This picture in the top left-hand corner with the boxes is Randy. Is it left or right? You know, Randy, I'm left-handed, so. So Randy and a community volunteer, that was Farmers to Families food boxes during COVID. This picture down at the bottom is we are boxing vegetables for our Seniors First program. We found out during COVID that the food banks and the quality of the food did not have fresh produce with it. So we decided that we would use 3 zip codes, and provide the seniors fresh produce free of charge. So that's our Seniors First program. At the top, we're inside one of our senior sites with our city youth workers. We have city youth workers that work with us during the summer. At the bottom is my brother David's truck loaded with the food boxes ready to go. What? What about it? Oh, Keisha and I were driving the truck, and we had the food boxes on the back, and we were around town, and this car was following us. And we wondered, why is this car following us? So we almost got to the farm, and we stopped, and she said, I knew, Pearsons, I knew you had food on that truck. She said, and I want my box. Can I have my food box? And she said, and I said, so, okay, how many? I need 3 of them. I need 3 food boxes. So whenever we go someplace, they see the signs on the trucks in the car, they stop us and say, what do you have in the truck? I was in Kansas City not too long ago, and the gentleman at the hotel said, do you have any heirloom tomatoes in there? I said, no, I don't. The tomatoes are gone. And to the far picture is one of our community sites, New Covenant Church. That's what it looks like on Fridays when we donate to our organizations. So we want to talk about food insecurity. We have got to feed our own communities as farmers. Charity begins at home and spreads abroad. So we've got to make a mind shift to how can I collaborate with the community partners in my community so I can feed my community. You know we get most of our food outside of our states, right? And it's a multi-billion, trillion-dollar industry. So why can't we tap into those resources and keep them in our states so farmers can feed their communities? We used to do it a long time ago. Farmers fed their community. The community went to the farmer came to the community. Someone was asking me, when did the mobile market start? And I got to thinking, and I thought, 2017, that's not when our mobile market started. It started when my dad worked with Holly that has sweet potatoes. He got melons from Oklahoma. He got something else from somebody else. He brought it together on the farm. He took it to the inner city and sold it. So we're not the first to do what we do, but we're the people that says, okay, that's what we need to do, let's do it. So I had an epiphany then. And my mother was a community advocate. In the early days, she used to go to the community and ask them, what are you going to do when there are no grocery stores in your community? And guess what's happened? There's no grocery stores in our community. And we thought, oh, Mama's just out there doing her community stuff, you know? Well, she was right on target. So now we don't have grocery stores. We don't have quality food. Food insecurity speaks to that. So if we want to impact food insecurity, and each of us can in our own way, we need to make available food options that are nutritious, fresh, and unprocessed. So when you are going to the Dollar Tree and taking SNAP dollars, or someone is taking SNAP dollars, there's not a lot of fresh quality food. It's processed. So it's going to take a mind shift. It's going to take a shift of thinking, but I think we can do it. Especially as farmers, when we begin to impact our communities and say, look, this is an option. This is an alternative to what Takis and all of that these people eat. This is an alternative. I can give you fresh produce. Fresh produce can help your family to be healthy. So it's going to be a paradigm shift, but we can do it. Food must be affordable. This is my soapbox. I believe farmers must be paid equitable wages for what they do. According to national statistics, we make 14 cents on a dollar of everything we sell. That's not acceptable to me in America. So when I go to meetings, when I go to sit at tables, I'm saying we need to pay farmers an equitable wage. We need to subsidize the middle of that road so people at the end can afford the produce that our farmers give us. Got to. There's plenty of money to go around. There's plenty of money to go around, so we're tapping into it. And then people must have reliable access to nutritious food at all times. That's where the mobile market comes in. Access at all times. So our focus, the middle of our focus is easier access to fresh food, the mobile market. Loading it up, taking it where it needs to go. Urban farming, growing food, expanding our network of growers, including educational and technical assistance. Socially disadvantaged farmers and ranchers. Yes, we have socially disadvantaged farmers and ranchers, but guess what, guys? We're all farmers and ranchers, and we're all feeling the brunt of the same kinds of inequities. Whether we're socially disadvantaged or not, we're farmers. Let's be farmers first. Let's collectively do what we need to do, and let's serve our communities. Intergenerational farming, community youth. So where do we go from here? What is our mandate? What does the future look like? We need to expand mobile market services, because COVID showed us that if there's another pandemic, people are going to have to shelter in place. People are going to have to There's going to be interruptions in the supply chain, and there's going to be spaces where there's no food. So if we start to look at expanding mobile market services, and I put across Kansas, and that includes Iowa, which include increased access to fresh, healthy foods to urban and rural families, seniors, and elderly. So if we look at how we are moving the food and where it's being moved to, we have to get the food and the access of the food, expand the mobile market. Collaboration with community partners to expand a holistic approach to Medicaid families, which includes fresh, healthy foods and all wraparound services. We have just received a small grant from a company that wants to expand Medicaid services to include food. The social determinants of health say if you don't have healthy food as part of the focus, then you cannot have a healthy lifestyle. So good, healthy food is part of mental health, of all of those things. It has to be, because food is a common denominator. It is really common ground for what we do. We sit and eat and talk. We had a wonderful dinner last night with the staff at PFI. We had a wonderful time with the staff, with Black farmers today. Food is a connecting force, and it's a leveling force. So when you sit at the table and you break bread, then we can talk about things and we can work out solutions and problems. Increase funding capacity to pay equitable wages to our growing network of urban and rural producers, not only to pay you, but to equip you with financial and material resources necessary to feed their communities. And when I say that, I mean the equitable wages, so you can be paid, but you can buy seeds, you can buy equipment, you can pay for health care for your families. The basic necessities that we need as farmers in order for us to be healthy, in order for us to have healthy food and provide it to healthy communities. Expanding the network of growers, producers across Kansas or in Iowa, and increasing availability and affordability of fresh, locally grown food. This is how we work. We have to come together collectively to move food. So in the summer, Common Ground works with Kansas State Research and Extension for the demo garden and Plant a Row. Are any of you familiar with those agencies? So Plant a Row and the demo garden drop their produce off at the cooler on the farm, and then we pick it up. When we need it, we pick it up and move it to where it needs to go. So your community then becomes involved in the process. Your community becomes involved in the process because one person cannot do this. This is way too big for one person or one organization. We all have to come together to work together to get it done. Expanding the mobile market footprint across the nation. We are often asked, can you help us come and make this available to our agency? Yes, we want to expand the footprint because I believe every community, if needed, can have a mobile market. You can set up your market stand and you can move it to another area next time, but every community or every cluster of communities can benefit from a mobile market. So expanded mobile market services across Kansas or all the states in the United States, which include increased access to fresh, healthy foods to urban and rural families, seniors, and elderly citizens. And you saw the van, you saw the Farmers to Families food boxes. I believe, and this is just my opinion, that we need to prepare for the next pandemic. And we aren't ready for it. And we're seeing signs. We're seeing attacks on the power grids. We're seeing food taking the healthy soils. We're seeing climate change. We're seeing all of these issues, and I don't think we're paying really close attention to what's going on. So our goal at Common Ground is to get ready for the next hit. So we'll be ramping up our storage facilities on site. We'll be purchasing generators. Is that me? Oh, I thought that was me. Different things different ideas that you need to think about if the question is, what if I don't have this or can't get to it? Water. I don't know about you, but in Kansas, we're dealing with some water issues in the western part of the state. So let's be thinking about what ifs. And I'm not saying we're going to just go berserk with this and go all out. I'm just saying think about what ifs. If something happens to the food source coming into my community as a farmer, can I grow food? And we can't grow everything, but what we can grow will help sustain our communities. We may not be able to bring in avocados or lemons or bananas or things like that, but what we can grow can help sustain our communities until we get past the next hurdle. We're not out of COVID yet. We're still reeling from the effects of COVID. So let's think about how we're going, as farmers, how we're going to help this. So collaboration with community partners. And this is why healthy food affects mental health, aging, Medicaid, WIC, senior services. I serve on several boards, and urban agriculture is causing a paradigm shift in the agricultural community. Because big ag has been, oh my goodness, excuse me, that was Siri. She was answering me about agriculture. Oh, thank you, Siri. So we've had big ag. We've had corn and soybeans and those big crops. Those big crops have done what they needed to do. However, we need to scale it back. Thank you, sister. Got an amen corner. We need to scale it so urban agriculture can fit into this place, into this space. We're not trying to move big ag out of its place. We're saying we want you to share with us. You get millions of dollars of subsidies. Share with us. We're feeding people. You're feeding the world. We're feeding the nation. Share with us. Take some of these subsidies and pay us to do what we do. All right, I know I'm going to get in trouble for that one. It's all right. So this is, the top picture is the governor visiting. She came to the farm, and we took her to our favorite site, which is the first site we ever did, Shady Way. And she helped us, we set up the tables, and she helped us bag up the food for the community. That's the lady in the front is one of our senator, and that's at the bottom. The governor is talking to one of the community people. The lady in the hat is one of our growers. She's been with us since we started. So community is so important. And when your legislatures, invite them to come see what you do. Invite them to come see what you do. And we didn't get any special preparation. I was kind of nervous because her security guards came out to see what we were going to do. Things like that. That was our first time. But invite them to your space so they can see what you're doing in your community. Increase funding. capacity to pay equitable wages. That's my brother again on the tractor. And you got to have some money to buy equipment. We just bought him a new tractor. Oh, he was happy. But he had my dad's old equipment, and, you know, equipment wears out. We have to, equipment, help us to buy some equipment. Make a list. I was told this a long time ago, make your wish list. So when someone asks you what you need, you got a list. I was meeting with a lady, and she said, well, we'd like for you to do this grant and all of this. She said, do you have a wish list? I said, it's 10 years long. She said, really? I said, yes. She said, well, how much is it going to cost? I said, millions. It's going to cost that to feed people. We cannot feed people on $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000. It's going to cost millions of dollars to re-envision this food system so it's equitable for everyone across the board. Okay, expanding the network of growers, and I saw this farmer picture. We'll grow food for food. I thought that was kind of funny. And the lady, because we need to feed ourselves. Farmers need to take care, we need to take care of ourselves. So I thought that was really kind of cute. Farmers feeding their communities. We've come full circle. Okay, and expanding the Common Ground mobile market footprint across the nation. As I said, people are asking, how do you develop mobile markets? So we're going to be developing a manual for mobile markets, and we'll come visit. You got to give me a heads up because we're getting ready to get into our busy time, but we do not mind helping you look at the resources you currently have and how to make your food accessible and mobile. And I am so elated to be a partner now with PFI. I can't tell you, last night I was just, oh my goodness. I am so appreciative. We are so appreciative of this space that you've allowed us to enter into. And I thank you for that. So, I want you to take a look at this picture. I want you to tell me what you see. All are for what? All are fed. No one is hungry. That's our mission. You see seed on the other side. What do you see on the other side? What is it? 5 loaves and 2 fishes. So when you plant seed, your harvest is multiplied. So I speak over you that you will always have more than enough to do what you need to do when you plant good seeds in good soil. Okay? Okay. Now I need to look at my notes.
I think it's the greatest thing in the world. I'm so appreciative of them.
Monica Moderna is out at Common Ground Producers and Growers Mobile Market, loading up on fresh vegetables.
I got tomatoes, onions, leek, which I don't know what to do with, but I'll find out.
The only reason she is able to get these fresh foods is because of the grassroots efforts run by Common Ground.
I'm 87 and
Yes. I want you to remember, food is a what issue? Policy issue, not a profit issue. Okay? So I'm in my teacher mode now. Food should be a policy issue, not a profit issue. It should be just as important for the infrastructure as everything else. So I'm going to leave you with this video to show you exactly what we do and how we do it. I'm making good time, right? Okay. Okay.
I think it's the greatest thing in the world. I'm so appreciative of them.
Monica Moderna is out at Common Ground Producers and Growers Mobile Market, loading up on fresh vegetables.
I got tomatoes, onions, leek, which I don't know what to do with, but I'll find out.
The only reason she is able to get these fresh foods is because of the grassroots efforts run by Common Ground.
I'm 87, and when you're 87 and you don't get out very much, it's difficult to get all the things you need. You can have your medicine delivered and stuff, but you can't have fresh produce delivered. Not very often.
When the people don't have access to healthy food, they do not have a quality of life.
Donna Pearson McClish is continuing her family's mission of providing fresh, locally grown, healthy foods for the Wichita community.
My mother was a community advocate, and she would go into the community and ask, what are you going to do when there are no grocery stores in your community? That was back early years. And now we're seeing that come to fruition, that the lack of grocery stores in our food desert and food insecurity areas has increased.
Loaded up in a Chevy van, Donna's team is making sure that seniors, children, and everyone in between have access to fresh food in Wichita and our surrounding communities, mostly in neighborhoods that don't have grocery stores.
So that's where Common Ground Mobile Market Producers and Growers comes into play. We take locally sourced vegetables and fruits, and we take them to communities that don't have access.
Randy Couts is one of those people you may see driving around town with this mobile market. Working at Common Ground Producers and Growers was the best decision he's ever made.
I've done a lot of things in life, but I've never done anything that literally gives you immediate satisfaction of knowing that what you did for that day makes a difference.
Hello, my name is Aubrey Mentis. I'm the new Community Impact Manager for Health here at United Way of the Plains. We are proud to share that Common Ground Producers and Growers was a recipient of our equity grant, Promise on the Plains.
It's such a blessing and a benefit to know the United Way of the Plains is looking for organizations to pour into, because no one can do it by themselves. The days of Lone Ranger and Rambo are over. Now it is really about collaboration and partnership, and what can we do together to make sure that as many people are supported, taken care of, given access to, based off of partnership. Because it's one thing for one person to have a mission, but it's another thing for a group of people to have a mission and a vision and then carry it out.
Like Randy said, no one can do it all by themselves. This partnership between United Way of the Plains and Common Ground Producers and Growers is one of the ways together we are making this a better community for all.
And this may say it all right here when you hear Monica share.
I don't really have access to fresh produce, so this is really great.
We couldn't agree more. This is really great. We can easily recognize the hard work Common Ground puts in and thank them for it.
This is one of my passions. When people come out and sit around like this at the table and they get their fresh vegetables and we talk about the number of years we've been here and the relationships that we've built, it is phenomenal. It's awesome.
I think it.
Thank you.
I think it's the greatest thing in the world. I'm so appreciative of them.
Monica Moderna is out at Common Ground Producers and Growers Mobile Market, loading up on fresh vegetables.
I got tomato.
Okay, what's it gonna do? All right, then you got it. Thank you. I'd like to introduce you again to Keisha, my mental health specialist. My mental health specialist, our mental health specialist. You want to say just a little bit, say something, and Randy, you want to come on up a minute. Well, she's also my daughter. It's my daughter and son-in-law, my right hands.
Is this COVID approved? And I say that because I work with ITR. It's increased the reach for the state of Kansas. So in addition to feeding people, we also provide transportation for our seniors to go get vaccinated and booster shots. So that was like a side joke to But I'm Keisha. I am not her personal mental health specialist. So we have to figure out a way to get it. Yes. I am the mental health coordinator for Common Ground Producers and Growers. I also work with the Seniors First program to check in with the seniors, see how they're doing. Be sure that they are not feeling isolated, having any depressive symptoms, anything like that. I am a master's degree marriage and family therapist. I have been working in the crisis field for about 8 years. And I took a break from crisis with our local agency because I was burnt out. Not knowing that I was going to start working with Common Ground Producers and Growers as soon as I was like, I need a break. And she was like, no, you don't. I need you over here. So I am the catch-all. She says Randy is her right hand. Randy is my husband. So her right hand is his left hand, and that's me. So whatever she gives to him, he doesn't do. Yeah, guess who does it? Present. So we work together, and it's been wonderful. Servicing the people, servicing the community, seeing the seniors. After COVID, it was really fulfillment to see that they had made it through COVID. So going back and just seeing all of those things. Come on over, because it's your turn. You know I like the microphone. I know you were just waiting. But yeah, thank you. So that's what we do. We love doing it.
3 minutes? I got 3 minutes. I'm on the clock? Okay. Let me just say first and foremost, as an advocate, whatever it is your niche in this process of being involved in the food chain, continue to do it with purpose and passion. I would just say add one more piece to it. Find you someone to get connected to and partner with them. Do not do this by yourself. Find someone in the community that will encourage you, that will keep you motivated, because Miss Donna will tell you, and she didn't go into any great detail, but when she started, there were some tough days. The money wasn't always right. It was a hard push to make a decision. Do I get up and go one more day? Do I load all these vegetables up in the van, and do I go to continue to serve without there being a profit, without there being any recognition? Nobody was calling her, asking her to speak at 2014. But her commitment to the community is what kept her getting up day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. She kept serving because she knew that there was somebody who was waiting on that blue Dodge van to show up. Somebody was waiting on the little white Pontiac to whip around the corner. There are people in your community who are waiting on you and depending on you. Find somebody to partner with. Find somebody to keep you running until we come up with adequate solutions on equity, on food deserts, food insecurity. You can't do it by yourself, but together we can figure it out. Together we can find a solution. Together we can get to the end result that everyone wants. Everyone having access to healthy, nutritious food. So that's probably my 3 minutes.
Again, thank you so much for the opportunity. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Okay.